Hi everyone, Carlos here with another Quad Cortex video. Today, on this part 1 of a two-part video, I will show you how to take full advantage of the Quad Cortex in a live application in a way that I do it. So a few days ago, a friend of mine called me and told me the other guitar player in his band bought a Quad Cortex, but was having some issues using it and to see if I could help him. So I called the guy and he told me what was happening, and I came to the conclusion that he was not taking full advantage of the powerful CPUs on the Quad Cortex, plus he was not using the right operation mode, and so he was having glitches in the sound when changing presets. I'll make a preset with one clean amp, one dirty amp, and a distortion pedal for even more distortion. I will add octave, chorus, delay and reverb and a cap sim, and I will make two lines, one with cap sim and one without. By doing this, we will run into a CPU overload issue, and I will show you how to go around this. So here's the setup for today. I have my Yamaha RBX with Nordstrand pickups and Nordstrand 3-band EQ going into the in 1 of the Quad Cortex. Then the out 1 goes into the in 1 of the Scarlett, and out 3 goes into the 2 notes cab amp to simulate a stage amp, and then the cab amp goes into the in 2 of the Scarlett. Okay, so here is a blank preset, and I will start by adding a gate and now a clean amp. For the clean amp, I will use the flip-top 6464, and now we can hear what it sounds like without any cabinet simulation. So this will be my clean amp. Now for the driven amp, I will add an SVT. I will now bypass the clean amp, add a little gain, and this is my driven sound, my dirty sound. And now for a really driven sound, I will add a neural capture of a Billy Sheehan pedal. Okay, so now I'll bypass these and go to the clean sound again. So I will want to add a compressor here. I will go to the legendary 87. Just try to find okay. So now I have a simple clean sound, and now I would want to add a pitch shifter to make an octave sound. So I'll go into the pitch shifter, put this at -12 semitones. The mix, I'll go like 50-50. Okay, so now on top of all of this, I want to add a chorus. Go with a vintage chorus. Let me just bypass the octaver for now. To add a little bit more mix. So at this point there is only one block free in this line, so we will have to use line 2 to keep adding more blocks. Okay, let's split into line 2, add this splitter, put the split right after the chorus, and now I have to change this output of line 1 to not use, and the output of line 2 goes to all of the outputs. Okay, now I can add a delay here, like a tape delay. Let's set it up. Kind of nice like this. And now I would want to add a reverb, but when I go to the reverbs, you can see I can't add anything else. Here is where the Quad Cortex is very different from other multi-effects units. Lines 1 and 2 represent a dual-core CPU, while lines 3 and 4 represent another dual-core CPU, hence the Quad Cortex. By using only lines 1 and 2, we are effectively only using half the power of the Quad Cortex. So now I will change the preset in order to take advantage of the full processing power by using lines 3 and 4. We'll change the delay to row 3, and this will copy the delay, so I can just remove it from here and remove it from here. The output of my row 1 I will send to row 3. This will make the sound go from here to here. This multi-out can be not in use now. And now my row 3 will go to all outputs. Now we can add the reverb without any issues. Let's go for a spring reverb. Can maybe bypass the delay and set the mix a bit higher. Now also I can put this 210 dark glass, and now we will hear everything with the cap simulation on. And I can change to the other tones. Finally, just as a matter of organization, I can maybe push the chorus to row 3 And now what you have is all the amps on row 1 and effects on row 3. Kind of makes it more organized. We can now further improve this preset by doing two things. One is having the octave on a parallel line so that we have the clean octave and the driven sound in parallel. The other thing is having one output with cap simulation. This would go to front of house, here represented by input 1 on my Scarlett interface, and the other one without cap simulation going to a stage amp. In this case, this is represented by the Torpedo Cab M going into the second input on the Scarlett interface. Okay, to make the pitch shifter parallel, we'll just split this line with a split and mix. I will mix before the compressor and split right before any amp. Now I can put the pitch shifter here, I'll take the bypass, put the mix at 100%, because now I will have tone going through here and going through here, so my mix will be controlled by the balance control on the splitter. So if I set the balance to 0, you will have only the amps. And if I set my balance, you can now hear the octave. Maybe if we take the delay off, it's more obvious. Now to have a signal with cap sim and another without, we'll just split row 3 like this, right after all the effects but before the cap sim. Now I can place the cap sim here, now I will send the signal without cap sim to the output 3 that goes into the torpedo, to the Torpedo Cab M, and this represents the stage amp, and the signal with cap sim goes directly into the Scarlett and it represents front of house. And now we can hear both sounds. First, the one that represents front of house with cap sim. And now the one without cap sim going into the Cab M. Thanks for watching, please stay tuned for part 2 next week, and if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe.